Step 309. The world I see is attempting to become one community. The world you see is attempting to become one community, for this is its evolution. How can the world evolve when it is fragmented? How can humanity advance when it is opposing itself? How can the world be at peace when one faction competes with another? The world you see is like the mind that you experience within yourself, warring with itself, yet without purpose or meaning. The world you see is attempting to become one community, for all worlds where intelligent life has evolved must become one community. How this will be achieved and when it will be achieved is beyond your present scope. But as you look upon the world without judgment, you will see the yearning in each person to join. You will see the desire for separation to be ended. The world's pressing problems merely exemplify its predicament and call for the creation of one community in the world. This is so obvious if you but look, as you yourself are becoming one person and healing all wounds within yourself as a student of knowledge. So is the world attempting to become one world and to heal all of its wounds and all of its internal conflicts and separation. Why is this? Because knowledge is in the world. As you are discovering knowledge within yourself, remember that knowledge is latent within each person, and even in its latency, it is casting its influence and extending its direction. The world contains knowledge too. It is a larger representation of yourself that you look upon. Thus, as you become a student of knowledge and are able to objectively recognize your preparation, you will begin to have a true view of the evolution of the world. Here, your viewpoint would not be distorted by personal preferences or fears, for the evolution of the world will simply be obvious to you. The evolution of the world is obvious to your teachers who look upon the world from beyond its constraints. But you who are within the world, who feel the influence of the world, and who share the world's doubt and uncertainty, must learn to look upon the world without these restraints as well. The world is attempting to become one community. Remind yourself of this upon the hour, and in your 2 deeper practice periods, engage your mind actively in attempting to understand today's idea. Think of the problems of the world and the solutions that they call for. Think of the conflicts in the world and the requirement that they be settled. Realize that if any individual or group of individuals opposes these resolutions and requirements, this will induce them to wage war against the world and one another. The conflicts you perceive are merely the attempt to preserve separation, but the world is attempting to become one community, and regardless of the resistance to this, it will relentlessly attempt to do this, for this is its evolution. This is the true desire of all who dwell here, for all separation must be ended, and all contribution must be given. This is your purpose and the purpose of all who have come here. Remember, you have been called, and you are responding to your one true purpose. In time, others will be called and they will respond. This is inevitable. You are accomplishing the inevitable, which will take a great deal of time and many steps. Knowledge is your source, and knowledge is a result. Therefore, you can be certain of the final outcome of your actions, regardless of how the world will proceed in its preparation and its difficulties. It must accomplish this one true goal. Thus, you can proceed with certainty. In your longer meditations, attempt to penetrate today's idea. Do not be complacent here, but actively engage your mind as your mind was meant to be engaged. Try to recognize your own ambivalence about the world becoming one community. Try to recognize your fears and concerns about this. Try to recognize as well your desire for one community and your understanding that this is necessary. Once you take inventory of your own thoughts and feelings concerning today's idea, you will further understand why the world is in its current predicament. The world has a certain destiny and a certain course to follow, yet it is ambivalent about everything. Thus, the world itself must unlearn ambivalence, as you are now learning to do, and your accomplishments will assist it in its great undertaking, for this is your contribution to the world. Practice 309. 2 30-minute practice periods, hourly practice.